Speaking of some of these guys like trending upwards, it was impossible to not take notice of what these people of what some of these guys were doing on the court and really putting notice on the rest of the league that, hey, I might be a second or third year player. I might not have been a first round pick. I might have been kind of up there. I mean, not really looked at when it comes to the best players on my team or high in the rotation, but I'm going to come up and perform when it's playoff time. And one of the guys that I've been seeing all over my feed is Jalen Brunson. He's a guy that casual fans might even know his name or what team he's on, but he kind of went out there and put on an absolute clinic. And there's a couple other guys in this list. I mean, you put together a list of guys that really showed out during this first week. And some guys are really well known, some guys aren't. But he was one of those guys that I couldn't get enough of watching the kind of the footage of what he was doing, because he really came out of nowhere and told everyone, hey, like I'm really going to be a real significant part of my team making it to the second round, which I think is incredible.
Oh yeah. Jalen Brunson, he is, I think, great inspiration for undersized players at any level of basketball. I think some of the guys that, you were in Greece with over the past week, I mean, they can look to a guy like Jalen Brunson and see that you don't have to be Giannis. You don't have to be 6'11" with a 7'6" wingspan to be a great player. I mean, Jalen Brunson is probably under 6 feet tall, if we're being honest, especially without shoes on. So the fact that he's in a playoff series here, starting for the Mavs when they were missing Luka Doncic, is really incredible. I mean, 24 points in game 1. He pumped it up to 41 points in game 2, and then 31 and 23. His shooting numbers have wavered a little bit, but overall he's shooting a pretty good percentage, pretty efficient, considering the fact he's going against a defense in Utah that's not exactly a pushover. So I look at him. I'm very impressed by his shooting numbers, his craftiness around the rim. He routinely likes to go through up and unders and other fakes around the rim to kind of give himself a little bit more room, and he's pretty strong. He has the ability to kind of get guys off of balance when he's driving to the rim and then give himself just enough space to get these shots off. So, and also he's a lefty. And as we know, lefties are pretty difficult to guard because they're, a little bit unorthodox when it comes to the ways they get their baskets and, the way the directions they like to go on the court. But as we talk about his salary situation, I mean, this is where it gets really interesting. And actually, thinking about writing on this pretty soon here for our website. But this year he's making $1.8 million. I don't know, John, if you noticed this, but $1.8 million is an expiring contract. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent here in the summer, which is pretty crazy. He was a second round pick. So he wasn't under the usual rookie scout contract structure as first-round picks are. So his salary is very low, which gives the Mavericks a very, very team-friendly deal through the 4 years he's been in the league. But now they find themselves in a place where, he is unrestricted. He's not restricted, so he can go anywhere he wants. They don't have the ability to match contract offers or anything like that. He can fly the coop. He can just disappear into the night if he wants to. Which is not a good sign for Dallas. I mean, their salary cap situation is going to get a lot more tricky next season. Luka is entering his max deal, which is $36 million because he's hit all NBA teams. So he hits that 30% max instead of the 25% max that other guys get, coming off of their rookie deals going into a max deal. So it's really difficult for Dallas because now his contract is on the books. And, they're looking at a situation as to where their guaranteed salary number is at $138 million. And we're looking at the possible luxury tax. I mean, it could be $149 million. So, I mean, that doesn't leave them a lot of wiggle room. Their last year that they actually had real cap room, they went out and signed Reggie Bullock. And he's been great in this series against Utah. That was a great pickup. But now you're trying to re-sign Jalen Brunson. I mean, what is he going to command in the open market? $20 million, $25 million. So at that point, I mean, their team salary number is just, getting out of control. And that's pretty tough. I mean, Mark Cuban's got deep pockets. I'm sure he's willing to pony up the money. But, for Dallas, I mean, they're trying to fill out this team and give Luka the amount of help he needs. Re-signing Jalen Brunson is going to handicap them as to what they can do in free agency and the moves they can make. So that's interesting going forward, but for now, he's been a great asset for them, and he could be the reason they win this series against Utah. So very impressed by his play and what he might do for this team going forward.